Stop. Don't throw out that dress. Stop throwing out that dress. Hey, put down the dress. Step away from the bin. You can fix it. I swear you can. Stick around. In this video, I'll show you 3 ways to fix dresses that are a bit wrong. So the first dress is Brain Dead, the brand, and I bought it. It looks so cool on the internet. It's exactly like what the kind of girl I want to be would wear. But I guess the model that was wearing it online maybe had like less boobs than I do. And it just doesn't sit right on me. It looks like a very big nightie. It looks bad. Despite that, I can't sell it or give it away because I just think it's very cool still. I decided to put a tiered tulle skirt over the top of the dress to improve the shape so that it looked a little bit less like a sad bag. I got some pale pink tulle with little white and pink dots on it. I measured the width of the dress along the rough spot where I wanted the tulle to attach on the front and the back. And then it was time for maths. To get the cute poofiness, you need to gather. So I made a little graph to times the width by 1.5. I did it 3 times for each descending tier. Then I did another little graph for the length to make each tier progressively wider. So you can find any tiered skirt pattern or just like calculations online for free and use those. I sewed a gathering stitch along the top of each rectangle and then attached each gathered edge to the ungathered edge of the rectangle above it. It wouldn't be sewing if there wasn't something unforeseen and incredibly frustrating that makes you want to just like stop, throw it in the bin and like take up a way more chill hobby, like watching TV, phone in bed, for example. I'm trying to gather the thread through, so you pull the thread through to gather it up. But wherever there's a dot, it won't pull through. So I'm going to have to manually gather all of the layers, I think. I love this hobby. It's a good sewing is a good hobby. What a good time I am having. Then, miraculously, the side seams all lined up and I made it into a tube. I then did some shaping to the top front rectangle to make it curve up over the chest from the armpits. I think it's good. I think this is going to save it. I think I'll wear this dress. The scariest part by far was sewing the tulle to the dress. Until this point, I could only mess up what I myself had created. As a result, this took me forever because I kept checking every 3 seconds that everything was running smoothly through the machine. At the end, I decided the top wasn't ruffly enough, so I made additional little Molly Goddard ruffles to add to the top. The next is a stripy kowtow dress, which I actually got at Swap Shop, which is like a resale store in Brisbane. And I was so happy with this dress and it was perfect for work. I wore it to work all the time. And then one day I put it in the washing machine with something red, so it's a bit pink. It's just been sitting there waiting for me to get my act together and re-dye it. So I got my act together at my sister's place because she went through a huge fabric dyeing phase a while back and she already owns all the stuff. I don't think we need details here. Presumably, if you actually want to do your own dyeing, whatever stuff you buy will come with instructions. I don't know where I've been. I don't know where I'm going. Been holding on to the past, but this life keeps on moving. Don't you worry about me, I'm gonna leave it so behind tonight. I wanted to do ice dyeing, which gives you like a cool blurry tie-dye effect. So we covered the dress in ice cubes, and then I tapped little bits of dye onto each ice cube. We did this inside Rachel's air-conditioned house, so in the end I had to get a hairdryer to actually melt the ice cubes because they weren't melting, which is crazy because I think it was like 38 degrees that day. The final dress is one that I picked up at an op shop. This dress is Alannah Hill, and as soon as I got it home and tried it on, the zipper broke. So I've never worn it. Okay, yes, replacing a zipper isn't exactly upcycling or a thrift flip, but I needed this video to be a nice even 3 dresses. And I wanted an excuse to talk about Butterfly on a Pin, which was Alannah Hill's 2018 memoir. I read this last year. I loved it so much. She's a really engaging storyteller, and she's had such a fascinating and just absolutely heartbreaking life. It's Australian, it's kitschy, it's fashion history, and just the amount of shit that one woman can endure, it never ceases to amaze me. As for replacing the zipper, I watched a YouTube tutorial by Dart & Sew, which was perfect. I will link that in the notes. The only additional thing I did to this video was I added a basting stitch, or just like a very basic hand sewn stitch along the fold of the seam, just because the silk flops around a lot and I wanted to make sure I was lining the zipper up exactly along that fold line so I could line it up with the yellow stitching and know that I was in the right spot. And then my needle bent, but I am sick of talking about negative things, so let's get to the reveals. The sleeves did come off the pink dress. I love it. It's giving Sunshine Coast Surfer Boy. I have worn this dress so many times since I finished it. I'm so glad that I didn't give up on what has become one of my favorite things to wear. Oh, and posting weekly is a ball ache, so I'm going to switch to fortnightly. See you in 2 weeks. Love you. Bye.